What's up, everyone? So, let's talk about 5 secrets about money that American banks don't want you to know and how you can beat them. Now, did you know that in 2023, Associated Press of Newark Central Public Affairs revealed that only 10% of U.S. adults have great confidence in the banking system, and that while 56% says the government is not doing enough to regulate this industry. And I agree with this because they can get away with a lot of stuff and we can't do nothing about it. So let's go into this. Number one that the bank don't want you to know is sneaky fees. Do you know that the average American pays in fees to the bank on an average of $311? You know, this is according to U.S. payment bank fee consumers. So they make nearly 82 billion in payment and bank fees. So on average, $311 on average. 1 in 3 consumer has been charged. So you get charged all these sneaky fees. For example, personnel finance celebrity Dave Ramsey once called maintenance fees some of the most sneakiest fees that banks can ever do. Now, how do you find these fees? Open your bank statement for 6 months and look at some of these fees, and you will see that some of these fees don't make sense. But there is ability to avoid some of these fees. And one of them is calling your bank and see, hey, what are some of the ways to get some of these fees removed? And most of them require you have a minimum balance in your bank account. And you can remove some of these fees, and that's a really good thing because now you don't have to pay $311 on average. Now, I wouldn't tell you to sit there and call bank and nag them unless you can benefit from them. And this is one of the things you can do. Number 2, credit cards offer more protection than debit cards. Banks don't tell you this. Now, people like Dave Ramsey says credit cards are bad, you get rid of them all. But at the end of the day, credit cards have better protection. Did you know, according to the FDIC, if someone steals your PIN number, you can be responsible up to $500 in unauthorized transaction from your bank. Banks don't tell you that, do they? So you need to make sure that you learn what benefit a credit card does to a debit card. Now, credit cards are a double-sided sword, so you could get hurt for using them. So make sure you use them responsibly, but you don't also want to get caught in these frauds where someone used your credit card and or debit card, because on a debit card you only have so many days to report it before you are responsible for it, whereas a credit card, you call it 3 months later, say I don't recognize this charge, and they'll remove it while they do an investigation. So those are the things about credit card, debit card. Make sure you do your due diligence and see what your credit card can offer you over your debit card. Number 3 is bank can reorder your transaction. What does that mean? Transactions, like you have purchased 10 items in a week. Now they can reorder it per day, per week, however the bank want to do it to benefit them. So let's say you have $500 in your bank account and you use $520. Now, let's say the last transaction you did was $490. So they will benefit whatever they can do to get the overdraft fees. Now, what is overdraft fees? It's a fee that they charge you for using too much money. So they can charge you, on average, in America, $27 per overdraft fees. So go back to the example, they charge you for that $490 first, and then your other 9 transaction will be pushed later on to put you in an overdraft fee. So they might be $2, $5, $10. It doesn't matter. Let's say 5 of them they pushed into overdraft fees, even though when you did it, it was the complete opposite. You did these 9 charges before you did the 490. They will reorganize it so they can charge you that 5-time overdraft fees to give them $100 in overdraft fees. So make sure you pay attention because you don't have control of this, and the banks make money in their overdraft fees, which they made in 2023 $5.8 billion. Number 4, banks want you to have debt before you take on debt, more debt. So banks makes money by collecting interest. So it benefits them if you borrow more money. So what they'll do is once you get a credit card, they will say, hey, he's very liable. They might increase your credit limit to try to get you to spend more money. So pay attention because you do not want to get into that trap where you start paying interest, as interest is 27% or 20.79% to 27.73%. They make, let's say, 20%. That's a great interest they can charge you for letting you borrow money. Just don't get yourself in that position. Credit cards charge a lot of interest rate. And number 5, if possible, negotiate with your bank. Talk to your bank because you be able to offer them better interest loans, better fee management, anything like that. Talk to them because you can save yourself money if you just call the bank and negotiate with them to get yourself out of some of these debts, some of these fees, and save yourself some money. If you're in $30,000 in credit card debt on one card, you can call the bank and say, hey, give me a personal loan. I want to pay off this credit card right away. And they might tell you instead of paying 20% interest, they might charge you 5% interest. Now, banks don't tell you this because they just want you to pay off your credit card. But you can negotiate with them, say, hey, if you want me to pay this credit card off, give me a loan. And they will give you a loan because then you have a chance to use your credit card and max out again. They don't tell you that part, but yes. So those are my 5 secrets that the banks don't want you to know. So what are they again? Number 1 is sneaky fees. Number 2, credit cards offer more protection than debit cards. Number 3, banks can reorder your transaction however they want to do it. Number 4, banks want you to have a debt before you take on more debt. And number 5, it is possible to work with your bank to get a lower interest. Like and subscribe to my video. Stay tuned for another one.